Welcome back. And today, my partner in crime is Julie. How are you, Julie?
Hi, Seewing. Good morning. How you doing?
Today, yes, fine, thank you. So we have some breaking news, important topics, and not that other podcasts we do are not important.
Right.
they are they are important, or otherwise we would not invest our time to do a
Right.
weekly podcast on various aspects of real estate.
Right.
Anyway, so let's start. Without further ado, thank you for being with us, Julie. So let's go ahead and dive deeper into this module is Florida condo housing crisis. Without
Okay.
further ado, let me go ahead and share the recent article just came out this morning. Today is 22nd of August, 2024. And the
Wow.
headline with recent news is that condo HOA fees surge in Florida amid insurance crisis. Julie, all you're not going to do is provide uh, data, provide
Right.
objective data, and not this gloom and gloom misleading data. And
Yes.
YouTubers might too. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, look, with my experience as a real estate investor for the past 20 years myself, growing my real estate portfolio and guiding and mentoring and coaching thousands of mom and pop real estate investors all across the country. So,
Mhm.
like say, I have a good experience to talk about this because Florida is one of the market that we have been investing in, right?
Correct.
For
Hmm.
many years because Florida is great for real estate investors, good cash flow, lower for all the past 20 years. I myself own houses, rental properties in Florida. I will continue to
Nice.
see them and my investors will continue to buy in Florida, but not this asset class we are about to discuss. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, people need to know each real estate asset class is a standalone entity. Furthermore,
Correct.
it's also not only a different asset class affects different aspects of the economy, but the location
Hmm.
also is very local. So anyway, so
Right.
without further ado, yeah, of course, Julie, you yourself is a very savvy real estate investor. You own six rental property portfolio in the past 2 years. So good for you, Julie. So
Thank you. Thank you very much.
yeah, so that gives you the track record to co-host with me. Whatever that means anyway. So anyway, thank you. So anyway, so let me go. I'm not going to just spend too much time on this article because I have a slideshow from my personal perspective. What I think in the next few years and beyond about the Florida condo crisis. Okay,
Mm.
what about exit strategies pertaining to the people who own those condos right now? What's going to happen to them in the next 5 to 10 years? So usually, one thing I really are proud of myself is that I go beyond the headlines. I go beyond the narrow time frame. People always, the YouTubers, real estate or otherwise, they always talk about within the past 6 months, within the past 2 years. They
Mhm.
never project into the future, right? Because things are never permanent. Whatever, one thing I learned as a business investor, okay, which bodes me very well, and many of
Mhm.
my investors that follow my guidance, is that things are always temporary. Nothing is permanent.
Correct. That's true.
The
I agree
only,
with that.
the only thing that are permanent, if you hold your real estate assets long enough, that permanent holding on the real estate assets will create some amazing wealth for you, for,
Correct.
for people and their loved ones, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Okay, without further ado, let's dive in, go over the highlights. Okay, HOA dues are up more than 15% from a year ago in Tampa, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale. And so the Sunshine State scene, HOA fees skyrocketing, insurance costs amid new safety requirements in the wake of a Surfside
Mhm.
condo
Mhm.
collapse, right?
I
So,
remember that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know they're very sad. Condo sales
Mhm.
prices really are falling in many parts of Florida. Yeah, as condos become less desirable, they are down 7% from
Hmm.
example in Jacksonville, for example, which is the biggest decline among the metros that have analyzed. Again, uh, I don't want to make this podcast too long, so I'm going to highlight the audience watching us, you can always access Redfin, the website, and click housing market, then click data center. Actually, just click the housing market. You will be able to find this.
hmm
So anyway, HOA fees are climbed across Florida. We only talk about condos, okay? Single family home asset class in Florida are pretty much or not in the same apple to apple comparison. Now,
hmm
especially new build single family home in affordable areas in the deeper parts of Florida, like Central Florida, for example, just one example, are still very robust or still doing very well. That's why we still continue to invest in Florida. Because
hmm
know where to invest, you have to know what asset class to purchase and the whole 9 yards. Anyway, okay, so HOV have climbed mainly in Miami along the South Florida. That's the hottest spot in terms of skyrocketing HOA fees. And then
hmm
the other areas, uh, well, Orlando is the least hit because Orlando is located inland. They are not
Right.
just
Makes
subject
sense.
to hurricane and other crises. So it's the least affected by it. But the Miami and South Florida along the lower South Atlantic coast are heavily impacted by the skyrocketing.
Wow, a lot.
But the other areas are not as high. West Palm Beach, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, and Jacksonville. They're much lower in condo fees. Miami, you could make the argument is the epicenter of the skyrocketing condo costs. Okay? Because, as I said, the Surfside condo collapse just created a new ballgame condo crisis that we are experiencing in Florida. And who knows, this condo crisis could affect the other areas of the United States, not just Florida, potentially. But skyrocketing insurance costs, that's very understandable. So this is, I believe, hate to say this is just a tip of the iceberg. And we're talking we're talking about much older condos that built back in 1970s.
Right.
And the condos that are more than 4 foot high and 4 stories
Short
up
story. Uh-huh.
and locating along the coastal areas, they are the most affected.
Right.
Any kind of newer construction condos, the high-end multi-million dollar condos that are spawned all across Florida, they are not affected as much and they will continue to be stabilized because you have multi-millionaires buying these luxury condos, right? In
Right.
South Florida and along the Atlantic coast and along the Gulf Coast of Florida. These individuals, I do not believe they are being affected so much because they have the money to absorb this insurance cost and higher HOA costs and whatever.
Right.
You
Makes sense.
have any quick comment?
It's just interesting. Early on, when I started looking at investing, I always thought a condo would be a good investment because a lot of people rent condos and everything. It seems like the cash flow would be really good. But looking at the HOA fee could probably like kill all of your cash flow, especially if it's in an area like Florida. Yeah, it would kill your cash flow as an investor. And I can definitely see why it would cause the property values to drop.
Well,
Because
do we agree?
people are not as interested.
Yeah, to your point, Jimmy, that's why all these years, as I guide our money capitalist investors, mainly from California, to buy out of state, we never recommend condos for the very reason that we're discussing there, right?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's high.
Yeah, the pain is just beginning. I'm not
Yeah.
going to paint a doom and gloom picture, but the data, the trend will tell you the pain is beginning. This is just the tip of the iceberg, how bad this situation is going to be. All the podcasts that we have done, you hardly ever see me to have such a pessimistic viewpoint and painting a doom and gloom scenario. But right, and don't you agree?
No, I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
I'm always very positive when I do our podcast about real estate. I'll always look at the bright side of everything, right? When I look at the long-term buy and hold for investors, that's
absolutely 100%. Yes.
with a good location, good property management, and good return on investment, good cash flow, at 25% down payment in an area. If we buy in Florida or Texas, anywhere, all these years, I never promote hurricane affected area or high insurance cost area. And,
Right.
and in a flood zone area, that's not my cup of tea.
Yes.
Okay.
That
Let's
can be very costly with the insurance. Yes.
absolutely, yeah. There, like you said, the HOA itself, even without the skyrocketing cost, itself will affect your cash flow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just thinking for owners, investors that own those type of condos, it's like they're stuck because you can't really sell it because no one's going to want to buy it. Now you get these high insurance costs, high association fees. It's like maybe a homeowner, definitely not an investor. It does put you in a difficult position as an investor if you own one already.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about it for the rest of this podcast. I have my own slideshow I want to go over momentarily. But Julie, you're absolutely right. This epidemic, this housing bust, this condo housing crash in Florida for the time being in Florida, it could venture into other areas of the coastal areas of the
Right.
U.S. But it's going to get worse before it's going to get better. And hate to say this, but I'm just providing data for you guys out there, right? You
Mhm.
listen to this podcast. I would love for you to comment below or comment
Yes, absolutely.
to see what you think. Or you're a condo owner, you live close to Florida or anywhere in the coastal areas of the U.S. I really want your comment. Okay, I'm just giving you my perspective based on my experience, what have you. So
Right.
let's continue with this article. Condo prices are falling across Florida. Right now, it's a single digit decline for the time being. Who knows?
Right. Right.
It could be double or even triple digit in the next few years if my data, in my opinion, holds true. So let's go over. Again, only single digit, as you can see, the prices are falling. This realtor, Redfin agent says condos are really taking a hit. Prices are hurting. And as you can see, Miami is the epicenter of the condo crisis, and the other Florida cities are far below in terms of severity. Yeah. So let me see what else I need to. Well, I'm not going to go over all the cities, all this data. Suffice to say, as you can see, the job and prices are so far in a single digit, but I think things will get worse. With that in mind, number one, I'm going to do, I'm going to stop share and bring on my own PowerPoint, which is always some trouble with that. Okay, here's my perspective. I created this particular PowerPoint so I can do my perspective. What's going to transpire? Florida condo owners, you see everything? You see clearly?
Yes, I can see it.
For those of you, here's my breaking news, my perspective.
Mhm.
Okay, people need to watch this. If you're a condo owner in Florida or anywhere else, throughout the coastal areas of the country, I would like really follow what I'm trying to say for the remaining 10 minutes of this
Right.
podcast. Here's my personal perspective. Okay, it's Florida condo owners, prepare for your future. Don't put your head in the sand and not think about the long term, because things are about to go bad, right? So you plan ahead. You try to be logical, try to understand the reality. Don't get too emotional. Make some good decisions, whether to sell, not to sell, walk away. Those are decisions people make could have severe consequences down the road, right?
Right.
This is not the same as a 2008 housing crash. Nothing on that. Small asset class, the condo market, clearly are in distress, starting with the epicenter here in Florida, especially South Florida, Miami and surrounding areas. Here's my take. All the condos are mainly to be affected. Along the coastal areas are in big trouble. DI. Let me review the Redfin article we went over. Skyrocketing assessment fees, rising HOA costs, huge premium increases. Blah. Then, obviously, we are seeing the first batch of condo owners, that oldest older condo, like I said, 1970s, maybe the 1980s, that did not have a good structure, the whole 9 yards, 4 level, 4 floors, the higher. I think, I'm not an expert in condos, sale, asset class, but again, I know enough about Florida over the years to understand the big picture, what's going on. So
Mhm.
current owners of those condos, they will try to sell. However,
Mhm.
lack of buyers, obviously. Look, Julie, if you and I were a potential condo buyers in Florida, whether it's for investing or for primary home living, would you buy some of these stress condos even at 20 to 30% discount? Why and why not? I want to hear from you.
Interesting. I wouldn't personally, because I just see from an investor standpoint, just a huge loss of cash flow. I could see the only reason you might need to buy something like that is if you have so much property, you're looking for some tax write-offs. You're going to take a loss, intentionally take a loss. But yeah, the only owners that really could sell are ones that have owned it for a long time, where you have some equity built in. But if you bought it 3, 4, 5 years ago, you're not going to be able to sell it.
I absolutely agree, Julie. I'm in the same boat. I'm like you. Knowing what I know right now, I would not buy these kind of older condos that are
Mhm.
going through this kind of stressful situation, whether as an investor or as a primary home buyer. I will not do that for those reasons. Okay, so because anybody buying these kind of condos right now, they're gonna have to absorb the higher insurance cost,
Absolutely.
the higher HOA fees. Sometimes the HOA fees, if you're financing such a property, such a condo, HOA fees are higher than the mortgage payment.
That's unbelievable. That really is. It's amazing.
Absolutely
Wow.
mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
That is mind-boggling. It really, I know, I'm at a loss for words. It's like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the numbers does not make sense. Am I right?
That's correct. Correct. That's right. I agree.
Right now, fire sales in the next few years, not just this year, next few years, this condo prices 20 to 50% discount fire sale the next few years.
Right. Right.
Many condo owners, just have to say this, if they cannot
Mm.
afford after 4 months, after 6 months, after a year, if they have very little equity on their condos,
Right.
they might quote unquote walk away.
Oh my gosh, that is so sad.
You know what's going to happen when they walk away? They're going to have a short sale.
Yeah.
Yes, you're able to sell the house when the loan balance is higher than the sales price. Then you have a deficiency balance.
Right.
Technically speaking, that's a short sale.
Right. Correct. Correct.
We saw a lot of short sale during the financial crisis in 2008 crash, right?
Okay.
We can potentially see the short sale coming into the market for in the next few years. So yeah, so that short sale will be on the owner's credit report. Okay? And that short sale is going to prevent that person from financing future home purchases. Because
Absolutely.
the lender's not going to go for that. Short sale
Yeah.
will knock down your credit FICO score several
Right.
hundred points.
Yes. 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 I understand that. Mm-hmm.
In this current
Wow.
in this current age, there's so many potential buyers out there sitting on the sidelines with good credit score of 750 to 800.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you walk away from a short sale, it's going to impact your credit report, and you try to get a loan to buy
Right.
a house. Good
Mhm.
luck, my friend. Good luck, because you're damaged good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're
Yeah.
right. Absolutely.
Worst, you cannot sell your home. If you cannot or unable to achieve short sale, then if some distressed owner, after 1 year of their condos being on the market, they still can't sell, you know what they're going to do? I could foresee this. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah.
walk away completely, not pay the mortgage, just pack the bag, just leave the key to
Oh
the
my
condo
goodness.
and walk away from the house and suffer one of the consequences. And after a couple of years, the foreclosure is a long time consuming process, especially in
Mhm.
Florida, because I know Florida quite well, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I own a number of rental properties over the
Right.
Florida, cash flow properties in much better areas, single family homes, in the non-flood zone, non-hurricane zone.
Yes.
Still very robust as we speak. But anyway, the people walk away. The foreclosure it's not going to happen that quickly because Florida is a judicial state. What that means, the foreclosure process have to go through the court, have to go to the courthouse. It'll take several years.
Years, right? Yes.
For the foreclosure to end up in courthouse to get it over with. Okay.
Wow.
And some of the people watching this podcast, they have no clue what I'm saying. But the 2008 housing crash, we have seen a whole bunch of foreclosure people walking away.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we could see something similar. So when people walked away from the house in foreclosure, the first 6 months, whatever, on their credit report, they could have late payments, multiple mortgage late payments, right? Well,
Right.
then also the next 6 to 9 months, that alone will decrease someone's credit score anywhere from several hundred score, from a high of 750 or 800 to a 500 credit score. And
Right.
it only takes a few mortgage late payments in a few months for your credit score to drop a couple of 100 points. And after that, your debt meet. No lender will trust you because their underwriting loan requirements these days are very strict to begin with, as we know, ever since the financial crisis occurred in 2008.
Yes.
But those potential future borrowers, loan borrowers, they are in bad shape. In my Korean wife's terminology, they are in quote unquote deep kimchi.
That's Gabby. That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot cleaner than what we would say.
Yeah. I mean,
I love it. That's great.
yeah, if you know anything about Korea, the most favorite vegetable,
Yes, I've had it.
deep kimchi. Another definition of deep kimchi is you are in deep water.
Exactly.
And by the way, short sale, according to the credit report and guidelines, could stay on your credit records for up to 7 years.
Oh my goodness.
Whereas a foreclosure on your credit record can stay on your credit report up to 10 years.
Wow. And that's so sad because it's nothing that they have done as a homeowner or as an investor, whatever. It's nothing you've done other than the bank, or not the bank, but the insurance companies came in and raised their rates. HOA had to raise their rates. And then you're out of gas and it's not your fault. I think that's sad because people work so hard to get their properties and get their ownership. That is the nature of that beast. Yeah.
The mortgage lenders are here to do business. They here, if you want to finance any kind of house or as a primary home or as an investment home, all they care is about your credit score and your ability, do they trust you, and or your high risk or your low risk when you get a loan. And these days, if you're high risk, again, things are not looking good for you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So here are the very severe exit strategies. And again, foreclosure, stay on your credit record for years. And I'm not saying it's impossible to get a loan. Any lender out there next 2 years on a short sale or foreclosure, as I discussed right here, if they're able to qualify for a mortgage, they might ask you to put 30% down, something like that, or 40% down payment. And the mortgage rate on the loan will be sky high. So those are the consequences you have to face down the road. So decision people, the condo owners, they're going to make under the current situation, really have to think it through. They really have to consult their advisors to find some strategic way to exit this stressful situation.
Right.
Before they make any emotional decision.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, Julia, having said that, emotion overcome logic, common sense.
This is true. Very good point.
A lot of people, without thinking ahead, they just make an emotional decision. They do a short sale, they walk away from the property. They don't understand the consequences of down the road.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyway, yeah, look, you know what's going to happen to these condo owners in the next few years? Sell or walk away or whatever. A lot of these people, they are retirees, right? They are every day.
That's right. Everybody goes to Florida, the snowbirds. Yes.
Yeah, they bought this condo perhaps 5-10 years ago, very, very cheap price.
Right.
Because older condos back in the day in Florida, they are very cheap and they don't increase in equity as much as a single family home. So some of the people that are trying to sell these condos, They may still have equity in the home. If they can sell it, great. If they can't, I don't know. They can try to sell it on a short sale. If they do not have enough equity, if their loan balance is higher, we discussed that. Short sale. If they have very little equity, if they bought 5% down, if they bought a VA loan 0% down, or FHA 3.5% down, if they bought it because all the condos are very cheap compared to multi-million-dollar condos that are spotting all over the coastal areas of Florida.
Sure.
All this multi-millionaire from East Coast, New York City, Connecticut, New Jersey, they come down to Florida and they are able to pay $10 million, $20 million, $30 million condo, one condo.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine.
Those people are not affected by all this, right? They have money to pay higher insurance costs. They don't even need to sell. They don't even need insurance. It's high-end, wealthy owners of condos in Florida.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Like I said, those are the type of investors that will buy the distressed properties because they need the tax write-offs because they have so much. But other than that, if you're not in that category, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. So let's project into the future. These stressful condo owners, when they exit, what they're going to do, they could move to another areas of Florida, like the more affordable areas of Florida, in the deeper into suburbs, right, away from the areas. And because of the damage credit, they may need to rent for a few years because they still love Florida. A lot of people still love Florida. That's why Florida is the number one in the U.S. population growth year over year. There's a reason for that. So those people they can migrate to Central Florida, Northeast Florida, or the Florida Panhandles, Northwest of Florida, where homes are cheaper to buy and to rent and not subject to the weather like conditions and climate change and all that. However, I also foresee the migration will go beyond Florida. I also see, look, some of those blue collar, if you will, hate to say what, blue collar mom and pop condo owners, they might move away from Florida completely. They just had all this weather conditions and overpopulation in Florida. With so many people migrating into Florida during the pandemic. And even before the pandemic, people have been migrating because the reason we all know. But they may be moving out of Florida, those people, to neighboring states, to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, and whatever. And they could start a new life for themselves. Because Florida is not for me, it's too much issues. I'm going to go to a cheaper place, whatever.
Yes.
And pretty much, of course, that's, you and I know, that's what I do. I've been mentoring and coaching for many different things. So anyway, so what's my takeaway, Julie, is that the current situation, again, everybody is talking about Florida. I get it. It's exciting news. People love to see bad stuff happening, right?
Gloom and doom.
Even everybody dishing on Florida, again, and understandable. So my takeaway, Julie, is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Probably, but again, each person's situation is different.
Right.
There is light at the end of the tunnel but they, like I said, my podcast gave me some window of opportunity to look at what's going to happen. Now, what about another takeaway, because you and I are investors. So are there situation where investors can profit from this crisis? And my answer is always. They'll always need to turn a crisis into opportunity. So after, what I know, if I were targeting this kind of asset class, I would say to myself, I like the land. I like the land where this condos are located. South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Gold Coast. Florida is not really that large. 80% of Florida, 80% of Florida, the state of Florida is
like swampland.
Swampland, yes.
Yeah, you can't build on it.
You cannot build on it. I think about buying the land. How am I going to buy the land where these older condos are located? Technically speaking, in order for a new developer, buying the condo building, for example, 80% of the condo owners have to approve that condo structure, approve for the condo to be demolished, to rebuilt.
Wow.
So that is going to happen down the road. I don't know when.
Mhm.
15 years. So it's a building to building, condo to condo community is different, right? So if I'm an investor, I will find a condo where potentially I can find 80% of the current condo owners will approve the redevelopment of that structure
Right. Wow.
to be demolished. If
Hmm.
best case scenario happen as an investor and as a developer, they go in, buy the whole building and very
Hmm.
as a Wall Street hedge funds, right? They're gonna come in and just
Right.
take advantage.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's what you're saying is there's opportunity in any situation. It just really depends on what side of the table you're on. But I think my takeaway from just the whole thing that you're talking about, if you are an owner or an investor of one of those properties, I go back to what you said in the very beginning. They need to get prepared for the future so that they're not making an emotional decision, so that they're not getting caught off guard. Get some information, get a mentor, get somebody that can really guide you through the process should that happen to you. Because the numbers, like you said, the numbers don't lie. It's coming. It just depends on, is it coming to you? And then if it happens to you, what do you do about it?
Absolutely. Okay. I'm gonna monitor this stress asset class, if you will, the
Mhm.
condo market in Florida. You and I gonna monitor this. Let's do some updates about this condo
Sounds good.
situation as we are moving forward. So anyway, as we conclude, so you guys out there watching this video, any kind of value whatsoever on this podcast, please like and subscribe and comment below on this podcast. Okay, tell me, what do you think? Or you in a situation, do you know somebody going through this kind of crisis? And what are your thoughts, right? Everybody have a lot of opinions about like the housing
Mhm.
market. So
Right.
just comment below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And finally, if you have not already done so, people can subscribe to my website below.
Right.
Click on my website below and click on newsletter. Just put your email on my website, so you can become a free member to receive our newsletters about real estate investing and all
Right.
aspects of being part of our network. So you learn you get daily updates about all areas of real estate investing and housing market updates as well. Thank you so much. Nice day. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.